Well, good morning, fellers and fellettes. How are we doing today? Good morning. Cheers. So, we have the newly acquired toy. I'm going to be doing a restoration on this. It's a 1998 Kawasaki Kx250 two-stroke. I've got new plastics for it. I got a new custom decal kit for it. I've ordered a bunch of parts for it. It runs, but it's not dialed. We're going to get it dialed, I think, today. We're going to try that. It has a China carb on it. I have the original carb. I got a rebuild kit for it. So I think I'm going to do a carb rebuild on the factory carb real quick, and then throw the factory carb back on the bike, because the China carb, it's just, I don't know. It might be able to get it to work, but I'd rather run the stock carb than the China carb. So we're going to do that today. I got a new air filter for it. We'll do an oil change, clean it up. I don't know what all we'll get to today, but we're definitely going to try to get her dialed. So I'm going to rebuild the carb quick. And then I got a good friend of mine, my best friend of 25 years, Hans. He's going to come by today with his son. And he's going to give me a hand, and then we might get some of the other little toys out and go ripping around out back for a little bit. So we're going to get some work in and then get some play in. And I'm going to bring you guys along with, and hope you enjoy. Let's get a little close-up on the old dirt bike. I already started disassembly on it, but I'll throw some pictures in. You guys can see how I got it. And then we'll do some after, obviously. So it's a 98 Kawasaki Kx250 two-stroke. Like I said, it's got the FMF Gold Series pipe on it, which really sucks, the fatty, because it's got some pretty big dingers in it. And it's pretty filthy. This thing was rode hard and put away wet for sure. Whoever had this bike before did not take care of it, and they just beat the piss out of it. So we're gonna give her a little love. And the bolts are all missing from the muffler, FMF shorty. So I mean, somebody had some good intentions, and maybe in its day it was a bad to the bone machine. I mean, this thing still rips. Don't get me wrong. When the guy brought it to me, when I acquired it, we took it out back on my track and we ripped it, and it ripped hard. It pulled hard, pulled the wheel up in every gear, almost every gear. I think through third or fourth you could rip a power wheelie on it. But she was rode hard and put away wet. So like I say, we're gonna give her some love. Yeah, I mean, this is how I got it. No air filter and just boogered. It's just gross. So we're gonna get the shop, because it's a mess because of working on the race quads and then moving, packing, going through stuff, getting rid of stuff. We got a lot going on, to say the least. So I'm going to get a little work in here in the shop, getting organized, get my tools organized, make some room here, and we're going to probably pull the bagger outside, even though it's kind of crappy out. And then we're going to get after it, and we're going to have a pretty cool little video for you guys today, and then we'll get some riding footage in too. So of course, we always start with the basics. So we got a new plug, because the other one wasn't real bad when I took it out last night, but it is a little wet. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that's a foul plug, but I mean, it's pretty wet. So I got a box of spark plugs for it last night. So I figured, with it being a two-stroke, trying to tune it, trying to get her dialed, we're definitely going to want to have some extras on hand. So we're starting with the easy stuff. I'm going to change the plug out, see if I can get her to run again. And then I'm going to dig into the carburetor. I know it's kind of loud. It's still kind of cold here in northern Illinois, so I do have the heater going. So that's the background noise you're hearing there. I got some other parts on order that obviously aren't here yet, so I got a new coil coming for it. Get it running and get it going good before I spend too much money. I've already spent $200 on new plastics and decals. So a little over 200 actually. So I don't want to get too crazy on aesthetics, cosmetics, until I get her running good. I don't know what I'm going to do about the pipe yet. I'd like to replace that. I'd like to get a new one for it, but I mean, the fatty pipe's almost $400, and then a new can is like $200 or $300. So $700 in exhaust for a bike that's maybe worth $2,000. We'll see. I don't know. I want to do a nice factory resto on this, and this is probably one I'm going to hang on to and not get rid of. So we'll see. But that's probably the China carb. New spark plugs, some fresh gas, she's running. So I think I'm gonna move the heater, even though I'm getting the garage up to temp now. I'm gonna turn the heater off, move the heater, take her out, take her for a rip, see if it's boggy under a load. A little boggy in here, so let's go clean her out. So we're back here again. I got it running, you seen that, and like an idiot, I shut it off. Whew, it's getting hot. Getting too old for this Kickstarter shit. So I had it running, shut it off like an idiot, should have kept it running. Shut it down, moved the camera outside, got it off the stand, started going outside, tried to start it again, couldn't start it. Kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked. Now I'm out of gas. I'm out of gas, not the bike. I'm tanked. Too old, fat, and out of shape for this stuff. So we're going to pull the plug, read the plug, and see what it tells me. And we'll go from there, I guess. So I only had it running for maybe, I don't know, 45 seconds or something. Oh, I wonder if that's it. Spark plug is loose. Let's try that. Body don't move like it used to, don't laugh. Gas on. Now watch it start. Woo. Give it a little choke. Yeah, again, she's wet. I don't know. Maybe she's just running way too fat. So naturally, you know, I pulled this plug, kicked it over, we got good spark. So now, you know, next best thing, we're going to check compression. It runs. I had it running. You guys saw that. I ripped this thing around my track. But once I started, shut it off, can't get it running again. You would think if it heats up, the rings would expand. I don't know. Just knocking out all the basics is what a guy is trying to say. Problem is, I don't have patience. I can't get this to go in, and I'm starting to lose my shit. Try it off a different angle. It's all about the angle and dangle. You can turn that heater off. Holy cow. Heater does a good job. I bought that thing, hell, 3-4 years ago at a yard sale for like $25. They call them a forced induction kerosene heater. I call it a salamander. That's what I grew up in the shops I grew up in. That's what they called them. That's what I'm calling it, a salamander. Well, go in your home. All right, hands cramping. We'll come back to this in a minute. All right, I got it started. So it just took 26,439 2 years to get it going. So now we got her going. Let's get her on there. Tighten down. Okay. All right, I'll get the gauge. Good old hobo freight. All right, let's see here. This is going to tell us a lot here, fellas and fellas. With regulation per the book and the interwebs, we're talking like 170 to 240 for compression on this thing. So I can kick it over by hand. I can feel the compression stroke, but it doesn't feel like it. It don't feel like that much compression, let me tell you. So, y'all keep an eye on that gauge for me, for a feller. And let's see what it says. Oh, well, never mind. Give her a few kicks here. Well, that's not promising. That might be our problem. I was told this motor was rebuilt with a big bore kit, but after 4 kicks, we've got 120. So let's give it a couple more kicks and see what happens here. Well, we got up to about 125. So my worst fears have come true. Crank seals, crank bearings, or piston and rings. So, well, I guess it's time to buy a rebuild kit for her. That's unfortunate. So we got about 125 PSI in the cylinder. Like I said, the book says anywhere between like 170 and 240, which seems like a lot. But I guess that'd be right for a two-stroke. They say 150 on the low end. This thing just, when it runs, it rips so hard. I don't understand that low compression and it's still running as good as it does. I don't know. Like a guy said, we took it for a rip the night he brought it out, and this thing just pulled the front wheel off the ground. First through third. Just giving it the onions. Not even clutching it up, just powering it up. So I don't understand. What do I always say? Help me understand. And this is one of those. How does it have such low compression, but rip so hard? Now guys all down in the dumps. On a good case, it's piston and rings. And of course, I was told the motor was rebuilt with a fresh top end and an oversized 30 over. So 250, so 30 over would be, I don't know what, 260s? I don't know. I'm not good with the max additionals, is what a guy's trying to say. So my worst fears have been confirmed, unfortunately. Luckily, it is a two-stroke, so it's pretty easy to rebuild. The hardest part is waiting for the parts. So here I went on ahead and spent $200 on aesthetics, cosmetics, because it did run, and hoping that, you know, I could just do a quick tune-up, rebuild the factory carb, and we'd have a riding dirt bike here, and I can ride it while I restore it, if that makes sense. Little things. Now I'm going to have to order a rebuild kit and top end, and hope I, you know, spend $200 on that, and hope to God that the crank bearings and crank seals aren't bad. Side door! So, you know, if that's the case, that's the case, and we'll go from there, I guess. We'll just dive a little deeper into this thing than I expected we would.
I heard you bought some oil filter. No, I
so,
love it.
You can have it, Hans. You can take it with you when you leave today. Just don't forget it. So we got old Iron Leg here. He rides a YZ450F, and I about kill myself trying to start that goddamn thing. So I called Hans to see if he wanted to hang out and do some riding today, and we do a little turning wrenches, and then we'll go have fun on the track out back. We're going to throw a plug in it, and we'll see if old Iron Leg can get her running again. And we'll throw the seat on. Not going to bolt it down. We'll throw the seat on and see if we can take her for a rip. I mean, I don't know. I just got too much fat, and I'm out of shape. I can't do the...
I wonder if you need to finish charging your phone.
I get tanked real easy, is what a guy's trying to say here. So we're going to get the spark plug in. We'll see if old Iron Leg can get her started. Start this big chainsaw motor up here. Don't go crazy on these spark plugs, fellers and fellas. You'll strip the threads, and then you'll have to helicoil it.
That'll be alright. It'll survive.
I will survive.
I heard my back up yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was she angry, or did she start easy for you?
3 kicks.
3 kicks. That's what I'd like to do with this. I'd like to get this dialed. 2 or 3 kicks, like my old 125. And the Yamaha. What are you doing? Oh. Yeah, I didn't put grip glue on those yet.
Reminds me of my birthday morning.
Keep it clean. We're on YouTube.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we get judged now.
Yeah. All right, Iron Leg, get over here and give her a shot. You want a little shot of huffer?
Nah.
No? Well,
Just want fuel on, chokes on.
Fuel's on, choke's on, probably flooded. Who knows? Let's see what happens.
Stay on top of the boat.
Yeah, don't tip it over into my other stuff. Old iron leg got it running. So, you know, old iron leg got her running. I knew he would be able to. Still a little boggy. I think it's that China carb. .250, 2-stroke. She's definitely running fat. She's smoking like a banshee. Don't mind the ugly fire pit. We got to finish burning all that down this year. So, see what I mean? For only having 125 psi in the cylinder for compression, it just blows my mind that it runs this good. And they say 170 to 240. A guy don't understand. Maybe he'll stop and let me ride my bike here eventually. Looks like he's having fun though. Don't go into the fence. What are you doing, Bill?
But
so obviously we we got her running. I took her for a rip. Hans rode it for quite a bit, and I took it for a little short rip. We got her dirty, got her running. Now it's hot. There's a it's right there. Just use that wrench. Yep, there you go. It's not proper, but it's what I got right now because I don't know when
it's gonna be hot in there.
Oh, it's gonna be real hot in there. So we got her running, and I'm not wondering. Hans made a good point. Not wondering if maybe the reed valves are sticky. Plus side of that, and we're not running an air filter, which is not good because it's super wet and muddy and boggy. But it'll get. I've been using it. We got a new air filter. I got brand new V-Force carbon fiber reed valves. Ooh. So carbon feed brace. So, you know, all part of the little stuff I've been buying for it. I've had it for, I don't know, about 2 weeks now. And this is the first opportunity to really work on it. So we did get her running. We took her for a rip. There's the sparkulator. Is it a little lean?
It's a little lean.
A little lean.
Dry, no smell of fuel.
No smell of fuel. So,
which explains the least. We need more.
well, when running with the choke on, we forgot to turn the choke off.
It was still warming up.
Yeah, still warming up. Yeah, we'll go with that. It was smoking pretty good though, so we got sufficient oil. Not when I rode it. When you rode it, it was smoking like a banshee.
Well, when you were going by, I might.
It was smoking like
any smoke coming out.
That's not good.
When you were on
when you were riding, it was smoking like a 65-year-old woman at bingo.
Cleaning out the dirt.
So
the flood.
Yeah, probably. So maybe we need to adjust on that China carb, or we just rebuild the factory carb and throw that back on and see what happens.
I say both.
Adjust on this one and rebuild the factory carb and see what happens?
Yeah. Take it out a little bit, get a little bit more fuel on there, take it for another ride, check the plug again.
And we'll throw the carbon... Oh, pardon me. Throw the carbon fiber reeds in, you think? Or just see what we can do with this?
I say let's get the carb. Let's get the spark plug right. Since they're
Sparkulator situated? Alright. Well, that's what we're going to do. Sit tight. So we went on ahead and did a little adjustalization on the carburation. On the carburetor. We found the factory settings. Now again, I haven't torn the head off to measure it, see if it is in fact a factory piston. But the guy did say it's a big bore kit. I don't know if that's true or not. I just got hit with flying mud. If you feed it the onions on dry ground, it's wet today because it's been raining. But it was dry when the guy brought it over. It'll lift the wheel first, second, and third gear, no problem. Just powering it. It's a little sketchy today because of how wet it is. feeding it all the onions because it just wants to spin, and then with the new tires it does grab. Again, don't mind the ugly fire pit, sorry. But she seems to be running a little better. Old Iron Lake got her started. She's smoking good out of the exhaust when it's under power, so that's good. The plug was a little lean, so I don't know. I'd like to get her dialed to her like my old two-stroke, 2-3 kicks, and she popped right off, no issues. What do you think? So we're working through things here, and we're running her. I don't think she was. I don't know why I did that. We're working through things here. I don't think she was run on. This new carb, I know the guy said he didn't run it, but here at my house, he put it on. Didn't have any two-stroke gas, so then he brought it to my house. I had two-stroke mix, so we filled her up or whatever here. So we're running through things. We're going through things. So what we're going to do now is you know, we're gonna give her a shot of the old Behrman B12. It's got all the natural vitamins and stuff that, you know, a two-stroke might need, or four-stroke. So we're gonna give her a little shot of that down in the gas tank.
Definitely felt better.
Way too much. Perfect.
Yeah, that was at 3/4 of a turn out, so he was getting starved on fuel anyway.
Getting starved on fuel?
Yeah, we weren't even at 1.5. We were at 3/4.
So we had the carb adjusted wrong from the factory, which we didn't even mess with. So maybe that'll change things now. Hey, that's probably hot. We were just ripping on this thing pretty good.
It's smoking better.
It's smoking better out of the exhaust like it should for a two-smoke.
When you went by, I could actually smell it.
You can smell it. Sounds, yeah, it sounds tingly. It sounds good now. So reading on the plugulator, sparkulator here. Slightly wet. It's got a good smell to it. Looks, come on, focus. Looks good. There we go. Yeah, all right. We can run with that. So what are we doing here, Hans?
I'm cleaning off the 20-year-old slimy air filter foam, which is
nasty.
One of my favorite things to do.
Oh, that's nasty.
I love it.
Oh, we figure if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right and clean things up. Air box is broke.
Don't look at that.
We'll just pretend like we didn't see that. Yeah. Making a mess. Getting things cleaned up. We had her running pretty good. Plug's reading out pretty good now. The only other thing I'd like to do is change the bottom end oil. And yeah, maybe adjust the lines on that China carburetor a little bit. Or do you think we're good now?
I think we're good.
Need to find the bolts for the can too. Just get that off of there. No point in keeping that on there.
I say we definitely ride it, put some time on it, work the cleaner through there. And
yeah, we got the Behrman B12 in there. All the vitamins and dinosaurs that an old two-stroke like this needs to run properly. All right, well, cool. I got the little mini bike running for Travis there. We got a new throttle cable and throttle on that, so Travis can ride that. And we got four-wheelers and dirt bikes for me and Hans to ride. And we're gonna
did you bring the ibuprofen?
Yeah, right. And the Geritol.
Oh, there we go.
We're gonna do a little bit of stuff on this, and then we're gonna go for a ride, I think. is not safe. Holding on to it, riding one-handed in the mud. Oh, that race gas smells so good running through this thing. Well, this has got bad idea written all over it. Yeah, this has bad idea written all over it. Oh, Hans, did a burnout on it. Yeah, bad idea. This definitely has bad idea written all over it. it's been a great day. We're getting the 252 stroke dialed. Super excited about that. Like, I can't even, I don't know. She's just cold-blooded, I guess, so it's going to be hard starting. We can't get around it. We can't figure it out at this point in time. So she's pretty dialed when you're in the pipe and you're riding her. She's just kind of cold-blooded and hard to start. It is what it is. This was probably the worst idea I ever had. Great little marketplace find, 50 bucks for both of them. 2 kickers. What do you think, Hans?
It's waking up.
You got room for one more to go to Aspen?
Nuts to butts.
Double little kicker. You got a kicker over there, the little guy, and then you got a bigger kicker here with a transfer ramp. The kid that had this before me, he was using a BMX bike. I found it on Marketplace for 50 bucks. I couldn't pass it up. I thought it'd be a great little addition for the dirt bikes out here, but we're getting old, so we don't bounce like we used to. I thought the little ramp would be cool for that bike, but the suspension, the forks on these China bikes suck, so definitely won't be doing that. I get a little more comfortable with the power band on the 252 stroke KX, then maybe I'll hit the bigger kicker with that one. But I gotta get used to that power band because it's so aggressive. It's so, how would you explain it, Hans?
This?
Yeah, when it first gets into the power band. I mean, besides aggressive, how would you explain it?
It's right there.
It just wants to throw you off.
It doesn't want you on it.
Yeah, it wants to buck you off like an 8-second bull. But we're having a great time out here. I always love when Hans and his little guy Travis come out and we can rip around my track. This is definitely one of the things I'm going to miss the most moving to Kentucky is obviously my best friend of 25 plus years and having my own track. But that'll happen again eventually. Eventually we'll have another property with a track. It just might take a little bit of time. But yeah, anyways, we're getting her dialed. We're getting her, we're heat cycling her, figuring things out on her, figuring out the power band, playing with the air fuel screw. Might even have to get in and do a little adjustization on the carburetor and the jets. But anyways, I think this is probably where we're going to wrap this video up because it's going to be super long with all the maintenance stuff we were doing in the shop earlier today, and we got some pretty cool video footage. And we put a new throttle cable on the mini bikes. I didn't oh, you jackass! Hans just roosted me with chunks of mud with the 250. That bike is definitely nasty. She's aggressive in every form. When it hits the power band, it's just right now, just wants to throw you off. Anywho, we appreciate you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more content like this coming soon. I'm here in Illinois until September, and then we're moving to Kentucky, and I plan on riding as much as I can before we leave and having some get-togethers and getting some good footage of track riding. My track's kind of boring. That's why I bought the ramps, because I thought it could add a little bit of fun to it. I got a buddy of mine that said he'd come out and build some jumps for me, but you know, that gets expensive. So, and with leaving, why spend the money? So like I said, I found these ramps for 50 bucks on Marketplace, took full advantage and snagged down them. Here's Travis. We got to get him learning on a clutch so he can ride the China bikes. That would be perfect for him right now, but he doesn't know how to use a clutch yet. So, anywho, like, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate you guys as always. We'll catch you on the next one.